Alright, we're reading more Dr. Stone. Going to chapter 90, but first I was looking at the anime stuff. Sure. It looks good. It's not coming out until July, until the summer season. So we will eagerly anticipate that. Alright, so they're landing. They burned all their fuel. They even burned a bottle of the precious revival formula. But they made it. They made their first journey to Ishigami Village. So of course, the overall goal of this is to find the oil reserves in order to power their new ship. But it has a nice side benefit of now they can have nice, convenient travel between the outpost by the Revival Cave and Ishigami Village. It's pretty cool. That certainly helps write the series. I think it's a lot. You can do a lot more convenient things if the characters can just kind of show up wherever they need to. It's cozy too. It's like really cozy that the two communities are connected like this now. Everyone is freaking out. It's just amazing. Aww. The old timers. I love that this is just a village of the elderly and the children now. It's so cozy. It's too fancy. It looks delicious. Oh no. You're getting your hopes up too high, man. What a fancy dishes in the stone worlds. Is probably not quite what you expect. Ooh, grilled fish soup, grilled fish salad, grilled fish dessert, and grilled fish something. The something is really gross. There's fish stuffed in the fish's mouth. You wish a bear had attacked. I'm eating nothing but fish all day, every day. Oh, so they're going to use this as their outpost to find oil. 1 year? 2 years? Dang, I didn't really even think about that. I kind of thought, with the logic of the series, that they would find oil in like a couple chapters. And I'm sure they will still find oil in a couple chapters because of, I don't know, something's going to happen. But realistically, it would take, like a couple years. We'll find food ingredients too from the sky. We can do it. We will do it. We've just got to. I'm sick of eating fish. Came to this realization recently, but being greedy, and desire-driven isn't necessarily a bad thing in this world. Alright, let's not even talk about it. I'm sure I agree in this localized form. Then, yeah, okay. Alright, whatever. That doesn't matter. Alright, so they're up in the air. Sankey's got a little spyglass thing. I think this is what's called a sextant. That has like a compass so that you can calculate exactly what angle you're looking at. And then you have different levels of magnification so that you're able to deduce how far things are away by you shift and then you see how far things separate given like a certain angular separation. It's pretty cool. It's pretty amazing that they were able to combine technology and trigonometry and stuff in that way all the way back then. Anyways, so Kohaku flying by hanging off the balloon. Another really gorgeous spread here of the balloon's perspective. Oh, yeah, because she's got really amazing vision, right? Cute eyesight. Oh, so they're on the ground team. Of course, Chrome being an expert ground adventure. And what's his face here? Hearing Man. With the incredible gift of hearing. I was about to say the gift of sound. Whatever. Let's see from the sky. Like that wouldn't be science. You gotta find the Sagara oil field. I guess that's a big oil field in Japan. Look at all these shots of Fuji. Oh, I just love it. Fuji unlocked. We're going to create a map of the new world. Oh, what does she see? Meat? Find some meat? Japanese cedar forest. Ah, okay. Oh, this is like traveling a map in the video games. Getting new treasure points on the map as we go. Whoa, he's just obsessed with food. I love this little image of the map. Sometimes... Alright, so I want to make more videos about this at some point, but I'll tell you about it now. I have like a dream game in my head. a tactical RPG that combines the adventuring and campaigns of Final Fantasy Tactics Advance with the technology building and civilization scaping of Civilization, something like that. I think about this game all the time. Sometimes it's like, damn, man, this is just it. They're just doing it anyways in Dr. Stone. Dang. But, you know, that's fine. Of course that makes me happy. But it's when I see things like this like video game analogy, because that's like really how I envisioned it, is that you would find a new area, like a new forest or something. You would send a party out there, and there would be a set of battles that had kind of a plot that connected them. And when you cleared out all the enemies, then you would settle there, and you would unlock new resources for your buildings and stuff, which would allow you to train new units and create new equipment and blah, blah, blah. And then you would set out for a new area. That would be like the kind of loop. They're just doing it. They're just doing it in Dr. Stone. That's fine. The wild animals. Sailor's hunch is never wrong. Wild goat herd. Shall eat you and let none of you go to waste. See, it really looks like Civilization. You know where the goats are and stuff. Then they harvest the goats. That's the reality of it. Making the map, topographic lining. Ah, that's so cool. Of course, Senkyu is really good at something like this too. It counts as an intellectual pursuit, so it's fine. The new world map. Wow! Ah, so cool. Yeah, look, they got all of sulfuric acid lake, Mount Fuji. I guess they were kind of up and around Mount Fuji before. I was talking in the last chapter about, oh, they've unlocked Fuji, they can see Fuji now, but nah, they've seen Fuji for a while. Whatever. Cool, 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 cool. It's the map. The map of the new world. They gotta find that oil, though. I've never seen such a detailed map like this before. They eat pathetic meals with nothing but fish anymore. He's got that manga meat going. But that doesn't really look like manga meat. That's far too realistic to look like manga meat. Perhaps no one will ever have to die of starvation again. Wouldn't that be nice? It's so great that because we live in a world with technology and maps, there's not a third of America, the richest country on earth, that's starving and living meal to meal. Isn't that great that we don't have 149 million people in America that are in poverty or near poverty? Isn't that great? Boy, it's sure a good thing that science has enabled people's personal greed and desire to lead to, screw it, it's not worth it. What am I talking about? It's not worth it. Just seeing this old woman crying at the bounty before her and hoping that she'll never have to watch someone go hungry again. Let's believe in that. Let's believe in that for now. I think we've had a famine recently, right? Oh, recently. Nishigami Village, rather the survivors of humanity. The reason they haven't increased beyond their current numbers. Oh, that's an interesting point. We never really thought about that before. There's like not that many people in Ishigami Village. Remember there was that one really awesome spread that showed you every single villager and their name? That's it. Why haven't they reproduced more? Why haven't they had gigantic families and stuff? Which is probably your inclination when you're a primitive society is, yeah, why not? Let's just keep having kids. They're great. They're so useful. You just delegate stuff to the kids. But do they really have enough food? It's because of food shortages. Yeah. The village is much more packed than it is now. You're a family with any other food cut, there was many, many deaths. Oh, man. I want to continue growing, you need to turn to agriculture. We'll tell on how their desires to grow. Mother Nature struck a deal with humanity and became its slave. Whoa. Humanity's goal is to grow and reproduce? Are all living things born to just grow and multiply? Only God can know that, but I don't give a damn about God. Whoa, whoa, whoa. All I want is to never see another beautiful woman cry again. That's my desire as the world's greediest man. So let us begin agriculture. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, alright. This guy. I'm into this guy now. Before I was like, man, they really revived a real jerk. But he he's got something going for him, man. In the end, he wants a vitality to humanity. He wants something to emerge from the human condition, from just this living, breeding, this cycle, something greater than that. What else can we ask for in life? What could be beyond this vague sense that there must be some point? With agriculture will come known as the food marketplace. You'll end up rolling in dough. He thinks he's going to be a primordial farmer. Can't tell if he's a saint or a scumbag. Simply the world's greediest man. Nothing more, nothing less. The cheat code levels of greed. Sid simply have never once given up. Not on myself, not on anyone else. Interesting. He's an interesting character. He's greedy. He wants to corner this proto-capitalism. He wants to be rich. He already negotiated for all of the oil reserves. Now he's trying to get the first farms in the world. But why? It's just this indomitable spirit within him. Near the coastline, they can see something growing. Ooh. Need it anyways. Need a food supply that can hold for a long time. Right. Golden color foxtail grass. Hey, is that maybe wheat? Could that be our boy wheat? Using the goats, the herds of goat, the more fertile the land will be, because of course they're poopy. Makes the ground very fertile. Which means bread making. Food supply will be grown and created by humanity's own hands. Look at how excited Chrome is. But you know that he's just excited because everyone else is yelling. He's just like, okay, yeah, I've seen this plant before. Doesn't taste very good. It's whatever. He doesn't know. Doesn't know about the wheat powder. Doesn't know about that flour. He doesn't know about making bread. Let's get that bread. Okay, now, here's my beef. My beef. Now, here's my beef with this bread. Why is it rising? Why do they have hollow places in it? With just wheat and flour, you can make unleavened bread. That is to say, bread that doesn't rise. But in order to make fluffy, nice bread that everyone loves, you need yeast. Where are they going to get yeast? I actually don't really know. I don't really understand how we first started using yeast or where yeast came from in the first place. Feels like I should know that. Feels like I never even thought about that before. What is yeast? I mean, I know what yeast is. It's a little organism that will eat the sugars within bread, and then it expels a gas that creates the pockets of air within bread. But like, where did we first get that? How did we find that? How did we figure out that that's what it would do? So we've been using yeast in bread for like millennia. It's like, what? I hope they explain it. I hope this comes up. I hope they don't just gloss over that. When I was a kid, we would play this game, War. It was just called War, I think. This is probably a similar game that lots of you have played. We played it kind of like Worms, where we would draw a landscape in 2D. We would each draw one half of the landscape and then draw our army on top of it. And then each turn, you like erase one of your troops, you like move it, and it does something. We used to play that game a lot as kids, me and my friends and my cousins and stuff. Anyways, I would always use this race of creatures I created that were made out of bread. They're called puffs. And there was like tanks made out of them and little flying drones and stuff. They looked kind of like paws. Anyways, yeah, they were made out of bread. And then they would also attack with swarms of yeast. Because it was common that you would have like napalm type attacks and stuff, things that would like rain down and like flow, because that was just exciting to use in combination with like the geometry of it and stuff, and it was a good counterattack against like tunneling. So my guys would dump yeast and it would be like a yeast wave. Anyways, that's my little history with yeast. Just like the word yeast too. Sounds like kind of a slang that the new kids would, the kids these days, you know, would say yeast. and let's get this bread. All right, let's read the next chapter.